Alright guys, time for round 2 with our sweet control deck. We have a hand without blue, but I really like where this is going. Signet into the Abyss potentially. Not gonna mulligan. We even have our win condition already. So let's see if that works out. Might be playing against aggro here, so might want to start with Swamp so we can Dreadbore. Yeah, better safe than sorry. The Abyss is going to take care of most of everything. I like Dreadbore to get rid of Koth and other planeswalkers, so I'm probably just gonna play the Abyss as soon as possible. Yeah. Play the Geopeat is going to deal some damage, but hope that we'll be fine. The Abyss is effective immediately, so no land. That looks really good for us. I can also Dreadbore a potential artifact creature at any point. I'm dropping the Abyss as soon as possible, rather than playing him to Tark. I can still play him to Turek later, next turn, maybe with an attack or with a Bone Shredder. If my opponent doesn't play a third land, then there is no immediate need to him to Turek. Yeah, this card works a bit funny. I have to put it on the stack. The opponent has to choose a target. It looks like it's going to be... No, it almost looked like it was played at Geopeat, but then... No, it was the Rakdos Keckler after all. I can decide if I want to have the Mishra's Factory on defense, maybe. Could also use Bone Shredder to just stem the bleeding a bit and make it a lot more difficult for my opponent to keep on the aggression. It's a losing battle, playing a creature every turn, but it's definitely something that my opponent could try here. I have the feeling that if I kill one more creature here, I should be very far ahead. Let's get some information. Ball Lightning and Hellrider. Those were good to hit. Gonna be honest. Definitely two cards that can beat the Abyss. Alright, no creatures, 3 mountains, and 2 cards in hand. Bone Shredder dies. I could upkeep Mystical, but I want to see what I draw. It's kind of important if I draw Blue Source or not. No. I could have also Mystical for Demonic. Maybe that would have been a good play. I kind of want to get my Shroud creature now. The Shroud Sphinx is almost guaranteed to win the game here. But I can't Mystical for that before I've drawn Blue Source. So I might just want to get get Fact or Fiction, for example. I think I'm going to do that. Let's see, anything else? Well, there's Demonic, of course. So one line would be Demonic into Fact or Fiction if we don't draw a second blue, Demonic into Sphinx of Jar Isle if we do. However, that makes my deck weaker because Demonic isn't still in the pack, still in the deck, so I'm just going to take Fact. Gonna get an attack here. It's possible that the factory gets burned to death. But I can live with that. It's possible that I should keep the swamp in hand for Looter Core. Shouldn't be too much of a problem to not have the land in play. Not looking to draw a lot of lands with the Fact or Fiction, hopefully. Although a blue source wouldn't hurt. I could main phase this. Oh, it would probably be better also. If I main phase the Fact, then I can also drop potential blue sources immediately. This Incinerate targeting me is kind of scaring me. Hope there is not something huge with haste coming towards me. No, it looks like we've dodged that bullet. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, come on. Alright, we aren't casting Fact or Fiction. I don't know what's wrong with me today. There's our additional blue source. It is a main phase Fact or Fiction after all now. There's a better skull. Now, with a lot of lands in play, I can actually equip that to Mishra's Factory after the Abyss has killed the Germ token. Opponent also somewhat scared of it. I'm just gonna take it. Gonna keep attacking despite the small risk. It seems manageable enough. At this point, haste creatures might deal us damage. And any other creature just dies, really. Koth? No. 5. Thundermaw Hellkite? 6. Devil's Play. That's a good card. It's a very good card. Alright. I'm doing it correctly now. So 2, let's tap the Signet, pay 1, pay some more, pay 1 more to get Better Skull into play. And of course that creature is going to die. Also means we are pretty much safe from most haste creatures this turn. Next turn the plan is to just gain 6 life. I have to hope that we don't die here first and foremost, and I think Devil's Play isn't the problem. Problem would be a Shock or an Incinerate or a Wasteland. Anything that kills the factory here is potentially problematic. This deck isn't really set up to just wait for something to happen with the Abyss. So I'm playing this a bit more aggressively. Chandra. That's also... Oh wow. Fire Blast. Now that's interesting. Takes us down to 2, but now Chandra can just be killed by the factory. Alright, I think this is the turn where we shouldn't misclick. Also a Sphinx. So I want to animate this. Then I want to equip Better Skull. We had 1 mana in our pool, so I can now tap this. And now I have the choice. Kill Chandra with the factory, or just Dreadbore the Chandra. And I can attack Koth or any other planeswalkers anyway, so... See no disadvantage in showing the Dreadbore to my opponent. Well, this actually deals 7 because of Vigilance, so let's see if we can make this work. This is attacking, and then we give target assembly worker +1/+1. Wow, that actually reduces the clock by turn. Yeah, equipping Better Skull to Mishra's Factory feels pretty sweet. And the Dreadbore, and it's your turn. Now, any creature drawn is just a chump blocker. And there are only very few spells that deal with the factory at this point. Even then, we are on 9 lives, so we wouldn't even be dead. Alright, the Abyss just won this game on its own. So this is basically the opposite from what we faced earlier. We basically want all the anti-aggro cards that we can get. And we don't have that many in our sideboard, to be honest. We definitely don't want Nether Void. All of these don't seem too amazing. Oldman of the Sea might be worth it, though it seems like my opponent didn't show too much with regards to big creatures. And the old man can actually take Plated Geopede and Terrene Mauler, so I like that. Let's see if I can do anything against the burn. Well, there's Better Skull, so I always have that. On the other hand, there isn't too much more, I think. Ludo Ilkor isn't a card that I want to bring in. Has 0 board impact. Definitely taking out Ancient Grudge. I haven't seen anything to use it on. So yeah, Hymn to Target is too powerful not to play. Old Man of the Sea is nice. 1 Power Stone is necessary in this deck, I think. And the 6 drops just make it all work. So maybe this is how I should play it. Venser is okay, but I like all the spells and I like the mana base, so that's just a small change. Maybe the 1 Power Stone isn't amazing on the draw, but let's see. This hand is interesting. On the draw, with only a castable Snapcaster Mage. On the other hand, we have Demonic, so drawing into a black source means that the Demonic finds us a red source or anything else that we want. We can cast Bone Shredder, we can flashback Demonic, and then this hand pretty much wins, I think. It isn't very good against aggressive starts, though. Well, with the Bone Shredder, that's not even true. I'm gonna keep this hand. Maybe it's crazy. We're also facing down 6 cards, maybe 5. And the odds of drawing a black source within the first 3 turns are pretty good. But yeah, it is a bit risky. I'm much more likely to keep 2 land hands because of the 3 signets in this deck. And I'm just afraid of mulliganing into something that has even less lands. Alright, it begins. Bone Shredder can't kill Rakdos Cackler, which is relevant. There's a signet, and a great one to boot. So now we hopefully have some time to get going, play a turn 2 Rakdos Signet, then turn 3 Bone Shredder or Dreadbore, and then continue from there. Alright, looking good. My opponent hasn't shown a lot of burn spells to kill Old Man of the Sea. There was an Incinerate and the Devil's Play. If I draw a land, I might want to Demonic for the Abyss, just to have a similar game to previously. Although getting Better Skull is probably even better. Alright, perfect mana. Now, Dreadbore plus Demonic seems pretty sweet. Even if there's a Chandra or Koth, Snapcaster takes care of either of them. Bone Shredder can't kill the Cackler anyway, so we might need it later. The alternative is Old Man of the Sea, but casting this Demonic seems absolutely great. Yeah, let's just do that. Now the one remaining question is if it should be the Abyss or Better Skull. And I think Better Skull is better. With Burn already going towards our face. It's just so difficult for aggressive decks to beat. We might be facing a Burn heavy hand. With only the Cackler and maybe a Ball Lightning and Hellrider, but that's also a problem, so Better Skull would be even more important. Alright, Porcelain Legionnaire. It's only black and artifact creatures on our opponent's side. Alright, we need some mana here, so I want to Snapcaster the Demonic. Does reduce my outs to a Planeswalker. The opponent could have cast a Planeswalker here, but with the Legionnaire, it's not clear. I think I would have gone for Chandra had I had it, and I need the mana anyway, so I'm going to just go for that. Could also Dreadbore. That's a legitimate alternative. That could actually just be strictly better. Yeah, changed my mind. Dreadbore means we aren't taking damage next turn, so we stay on 13, and we only need a single untapped source for Better Skull anyway. We have Old Man of the Sea and Bone Shredder to cast, to play, if we want that. This leaves us weak, very weak to Chandra. I just didn't think it was likely it was in my opponent's hand. And now we can basically be sure, yeah. Alright, Mystical Tutor can get some manas. Well, not directly, but it can get Fact or Fiction, for example. No, I'm not attacking here. There's no need to get aggressive, but against a Hellrider, I want to have 3 power on the board to just deal with them immediately. Oh, Kargan Dragonlord, that's a pretty good card. Alright, so it's going to turn into an 8/8 Flying Trample. That probably means I want to Mystical. It would be nice to play the Better Skull, but this just needs an answer, so let's see if I even have something. No, we've used up our removal spells, and we can't really Pyroclasm or Earthquake that it's now that it's flying. So Old Man of the Sea isn't going to do it. Consecrated Sphinx isn't going to do it on its own. This could be problematic. There's a control magic, but the Demonic Tutor is in the graveyard, and none of these cards get back the Snapcaster Mage, so kind of have to draw it myself. Fact or Fiction is the most powerful of these cards, but it also means that I'm definitely not doing much during the next turn. Old Man of the Sea, I don't think is cutting it. Oh wow, I think I could just be dead here. Maybe it was a mistake to cast the Mystical. But what happens if I draw a land? If I draw a land and I play Better Skull, then we get hit for 8, go down to 5. This is even pumpable, so yeah. We need to find the control magic, I think. So it's time to Fact or Fiction into control magic. Yeah, that's what we have to do. This time I do want to main phase this, because of the potential land drops. Alright, 4 mana sources and an Inquisition. Not great, not great. Okay, the Inquisition is dead, so 3 lands is actually quite nice. Okay, the thing that in theory accelerates me, but in practice it doesn't, so... I have the next turn to draw control magic, and if I don't, I think I'm dead. I used up my removal spells because I thought the opponent was out of gas, and an 8/8 flying trample isn't exactly what you expect from a deck like this. I was thinking more along the line of him drawing burn spells and cheap creatures, and that caught me off guard. We're also losing to this Hellrider now. Probably not beating that. Let's see. Go down to 11. If I chump block here, then it's going to be 7. Then if we draw control magic, we are still in the game. So let's see what happens. Thoughtseize. Yeah, not what we wanted to draw. Maybe we should board that out, but I kind of like it. In our deck, it's just very powerful. Okay. Better Skull is going to be very easy for the opponent to beat, but I'm just gonna make him play it out. The only thing my opponent needs to do here is level the Dragon Lord and not attack with Hellrider, and then I'm dead. Don't think that's going to be very difficult. Alright, I'm sure that I could have won this game, but well, with the whole tutoring and all these decisions, definitely could have made some other choices that would have worked out better, but I'm not sure if I should have expected something like that to happen. I wasn't really thinking of my opponent overpowering me that easily. So yeah, we lose this game. Didn't feel really good, but what can you do? Alright, Venser looks a bit more interesting against the level up guy. And Void is still only okay. I don't really like it. Is Venser better than Thoughtseize? Don't really think so. Thoughtseizing well, it doesn't have any late game application, but getting rid of a threat very early and getting the crucial information on the opponent's hand feels very valuable to me. I'm going to keep that in. Venser is always solid. It's just this time we had Old Man of the Sea and it didn't do anything, but if we have this early, it's actually a lot more powerful, I think, than Venser. I think our deck is well set up. Now that we know what we are facing in particular, just gonna go first and hopefully just get there. Another hand that's lacking a color, but we have a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, even the Solemn to find the land. Never mulliganing this. This might be a hand with which to just run out Snapcaster Mage on turn 2 to block a Rakdos Cackler, for example. Wouldn't be above that. Do I just play the Underground Sea, or do I need to hold that back? Let's see what happens. Alright, Underground Sea was the perfect draw step, of course. Quite happy about that. Shrine of Burning Rage. Oh boy. So this is what we are facing now. I could Snapcaster here, just to get on the beats. I hate to play against Shrine of Burning Rage. It's an absolute pain. And we have the Old Man of the Sea. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. It might win me the game. And I don't think there's a lot to worry about at this stage. The worst thing is that we have taken out the Ancient Grudge. So I don't think there's a solution to Shrine of Burning Rage left in our deck. Let's see. We are main decking Ancient Grudge, but we took that out. We have some discard spells that aren't going to work anymore. And that's it. Alright. Would be nice to have the Ancient Grudge. But we don't, so we need a different plan. Maybe the aggro plan works out. Old Man of the Sea looks quite powerful here. And the aggression of our line could force the opponent into making some blocks, maybe. No, the Chain Lightning is going to the face. Alright. This is very aggressive. Okay, that explains a lot. Drawing a factory here has to be really good. I kind of want to Dreadbore the Berserker though, and then Old Man of the Sea has to attack. I can't really see not attacking with that. And then next turn we have the factory also. Yeah, just getting in the damage here. It's unlikely that the activated ability of Old Man of the Sea is needed immediately. My opponent is very welcome to just run out 2 creatures or 1 that I can take with the Old Man. Alright, 4 counters, we're on 17. This is still looking fine. Hell Rider might be a problem, but we have a factory at least. The factory would have had Summoning Sickness, so it couldn't have blocked Hell Rider profitably. Otherwise, there was a potential line keeping back Old Man and leaving the factory untapped. But I think the Old Man is so powerful against his hand, at least the hand that I'm envisioning him to have, or that I'm, in a sense, hoping him to have. Alright, Brainstorm. Do we just want to Brainstorm and play Solemn Simulacrum, maybe? Given how tempo-y this game is, it seems better than spending time casting Fact or Fiction or anything of the sorts. Let's see, we do not need to hit a land to go for the Solemn, so Bone Shredder is okay, Bone Shredder is alright. Probably just shuffling away the lands again, finding one with Solemn. Does mean not attacking with the factory, can live with that. Alright, this time I should probably attack first. for once. Alright, down to 10. And Solemn is coming down. We have 2 red, 3 blue, 1 black, so I'm getting a swamp. I'm not killing in the next attack step, but I'm quite close to having a 2-turn clock. And currently the Shrine of Burning Rage isn't killing me. There might be a Fire Blast in the equation. Grim Lavamancer is fine. I have Old Man of the Sea, so I can just take that. Maybe another creature also from our opponent. Then I'm forced to use the Old Man, but that's fine. Yeah, now all the small guys come out to play. But the more small guys, the less burn spells and the less scary cards, so it's all good. I cannot Bone Shredder Rakdos Cackler. So if I Old Man the Lavamancer, it might get killed. Doesn't seem too bad. Snapcaster Mage could get blocked by Rakdos Cackler. Now I have to play this as aggressively as possible. And that means taking the Cackler with the Old Man, playing Bone Shredder to get rid of Lavamancer, and attacking with the Factory. I think that's just... It doesn't matter if I get to activate the Lavamancer, because my clock is just very solid at this stage. I just don't want to want my opponent to get any value here out of anything he does. It seems counterintuitive to take the Cackler when there's a Grim Lavamancer lying around. I'm quite certain that this is the correct line. Dealing the most amount of damage while staying alive, having a chump blocker and all that. Kind of gives me the value from the Snapcaster Mage that I've hoped that the Snapcaster would have. I don't think I would be this close to winning the game had I not played Snapcaster on turn 2. Something which I've loved to do in the Delver times, but well, without having something to flashback. Down to 4. I could still die here, but would have to be a pretty absurd combination of cards. I'm not weak to losing Old Man of the Sea now, because the opponent only gets back a Cackler. Not weak against Hellrider because I have 2 blockers. I'm somewhat weak to Fire Blast and what's it called? Ball Lightning. But I don't think there's much I could do about them. Big question, does the opponent activate the Shrine now? Otherwise, he just has a lot less mana to work with. Yeah, so this is a Fire Blast, taking me down to 13. And then I'm thinking that the Shrine is getting sacrificed. I don't think I'm losing here. The Shrine deals 9, but now my opponent needs all his mana to use the Shrine. And I think I'm racing that. This is exciting. Just gonna wait it out. Just because I can't think of a card doesn't mean there isn't one, but I think the out was probably to activate the Shrine end of turn, but then I only go to 5, and I was pretty safe from most things that deal 5. I would actually have survived just barely against Ball Lightning, blocking with both of my creatures, going down to 1. But if there's a Ball Lightning in my opponent's hand now, it's worthless because the Shrine won't get active. I'm just barely racing this with my aggro curve. Alright, here we go. Mizzium Mortars. Alright. This was a close game. We do have the kill, right? We have 3 2-power creatures in play. I'm wondering if these Mizzium Mortars couldn't have been cast earlier. Alright. Mishra's Factory has been absolutely amazing. Whew. Beaten the Red Menace. Got there. The Abyss in game 1 and the empty Snapcaster Mage in game 3. With some odd circumstances to lose game 2, but I could have also won that one had I known what was happening. Alright, off to run 3.